Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, we should be live. So let me get my shit together real quick. Oh yeah, what's good, Hannah Simone? Boom. So yes, sir. What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh yeah, much love, Kaleem. What's good with it? What's good with it? Okay. So yeah, man, we're gonna cook tonight, man. We're gonna cook. I'm gonna be talking about a few different things. Be chopping it up about the Age of Aquarius. We're gonna be talking about AI. We're gonna be talking about the dark web. So it's gonna be lit, man. It's gonna be lit. I'm gonna give people a couple more seconds to get in the room. But yeah, man, what's good with y'all, man? What y'all got going on? To Mezin, your content is fire. Appreciate that. What happens next after they tell you to not say a word? Hey, look, bro, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm too smart for this shit, bro. I'm just here for a limited amount of time. Then I'm gonna disappear, bro. I'm too smart for these niggas, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of niggas get caught up because they get stuck trying to be like in the same position for too long, bro. I'm gonna disappear. Once I get my money to a certain level, y'all niggas might never see me again, bro. For real. Yeah, the live will be saved, bro. I'm currently live. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Rumble. So my live is on all these different sites at the same time. So you can so if they take it down off Instagram or YouTube, it'll be up on Rumble, it'll be up on Twitch. So yeah, I try to have my content like everywhere. So matter of fact, give me 1 second, let me make sure I got everything straight. Okay, boom. So now we should be good. So yeah, man, we're gonna chop it up. But yeah, first I want to talk about AI because you said what app do I use to put the live in every app? I use a program called OBS. It's completely free. Yeah, just type in on Google OBS. You'll probably have to watch some YouTube tutorials to kind of learn how to like do all the extra shit. But I might do like another live stream like next week, like showing my setup and showing like the behind the scenes of how to like, stream and how to like set up your computer and all that. So if y'all want to see that, just let me know. But yeah, bro, AI, bro, we got to talk about AI because, I've been using AI for like the past 3 or 4 years. But, the growth of how like AI has evolved over like the past 2 years is crazy. And it's like, I don't think people really understand like how real this shit is and just like what AI is really capable of because, I can actually show y'all. Matter of fact, I can actually show y'all, bro. So I'm gonna go to this real quick. So this is what AI is currently doing right now, and it's only gonna get crazier. So I'm gonna play this video now. Let me know if y'all can see this. So all of these videos is completely 100% AI. So no human being was involved with making these videos. So everything you're seeing right now, this is AI. This is what AI can do right now in 2024. And this is just what they're releasing to the public. So they already got way better shit than this. This is just what they're allowing you to see. So then it shows you the prompts of like what it's actually doing. So the Borneo wildlife, right? And this is, like I said, this is all AI. And this is an app. Well, it's not really an app. This is a program called Sora from OpenAI. So the same people that made ChatGPT are the same people that made this. And so, oh yeah, DeMar Lee, what's up? Pooh Bay, what's up? Shout out to YouTube. See, all of this is AI, bro. You said you feel like AI has been running the world. Hey, that could be true. That could be true. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because there's so many different theories. And you know, I actually work in tech, so I know a lot of people that make some of these programs. So it's very interesting. But all of this is what AI can currently do. So the way I look at things, I'm like, yo, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what will AI really be capable of? You know, because this is really like early stages. Like this is like simple. And like I say, look how realistic it looks. Like it's not perfect, but no human being was involved with this footage. So this is what you can create with AI. Now I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not one of these niggas who like, oh, AI is gonna destroy the world. I'm like, it might, but I'm trying to use this shit because from a creator perspective, being able to have this type of technology at your fingertips is very, very powerful. And, you know, AI is not all bad. Like you can use AI for good things. Like you can use AI to discover new research and discover cures. You can use AI to solve problems. I'm gonna actually show y'all how I used AI to show me how to build an off-grid house for under $10,000. So I'm a, you know, we're gonna get into a lot of things, but all of this is AI, bro. Facts. Yeah, Tezzy Guap is going to be really hard to know real from fake. Exactly. That's what Elon Musk said. Elon Musk said that eventually the technology and the virtual reality and the AI, it will get to a point to where it's indistinguishable from reality. And that's why when you see these niggas walking around with these goofy ass Apple Vision Pro glasses, it's like that's really the plan is for it to get to be seamless to where it just blends in with your reality. So I never tried the Apple Vision Pro, but I did try the MetaQuest. I mean, I fuck with the MetaQuest. I fuck with the headset, but I'm not finna be using that shit all day. But yeah, this is all AI, bro. So this is matter of fact, Tyler Perry, bro, the movie director. He was building a $1 billion studio in Atlanta, and he canceled it because he now using AI. So this shit is going to affect every industry. It's going to affect every sector of business. And the thing about it is, you know, AI, it allows one person to do the job of 10 people. So I could program AI to respond to all my emails for me. I could program AI to do tasks that I don't want to do. And especially once we start getting into like robotics and automation, like this shit is really just the surface level. So I'm just showing y'all this to kind of just let you know, like this is what AI can do now, you know, and this is still early. You said they turning people into AI, into robots. Yeah, facts. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers is already bots. Facts. You said, what is Tyler Perry doing with the AI? Come on, bro. You already know what he's doing. You got to imagine, if you a film director, think about how much time it would take you to hire a camera crew, to hire a stage designer, to hire a sound team, to hire all these people and to actually film these types of videos. It would take you hours and like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you can reduce a $100,000 film budget or a $1 million film budget down to a couple $100, why wouldn't you do it? Like I said, all of this is AI. So somebody like Tyler Perry, a lot of these Hollywood directors, that's why if y'all remember a few months ago when the Hollywood writers was on strike, a lot of that had to do with AI, because a lot of those writers and actors really don't get paid shit on the back end of those movies. So all those Netflix series, all of those, you know, all these movies that you see, a lot of times it goes to streaming platforms. So the streaming platforms get all the money and the actors really don't be getting shit on the back end. They'll get a big upfront check, but they don't really get no residuals, especially on like streaming networks. So that was part of the reason why there was a strike. because they basically saying like, yo, we not getting paid. And then the studios is starting to use AI now. So this is why it's so much layoffs. This is why it's so much, businesses closing down, because it allows you to do so many things with much less effort. So what are a few apps we could download to make AI videos like this? Well, this particular software, it's called Sora. So it's not out to the public yet. This is just them teasing you and kind of just getting you conditioned to what's possible. But there are a few different softwares. One of them, if you have Chat GPT, if you pay for the premium version of Chat GPT, it's like $20 a month. They have a video generation software. It's another one called Runway ML that has like some pretty cool animation type stuff. So it's a couple different ones out there. So I just wanted to show y'all this to kind of just like get people up to speed, because a lot of people don't really know what's going on. So look at this, look at this white man. This is all AI generated. So imagine how it's going to look 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. You said, can you ask AI, how do we get rid of the current power structure? I can ask. Matter of fact, I'm going to go pull up Chat GPT right now. So I'm going to pause this. But yeah, so understand this is where we're at, and like I say, eventually it's only going to get more advanced. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of deep fake videos. That's why, Taylor Swift was mad, because people was using AI to make like nude pictures of her, and that shit was going viral on Twitter. And so, eventually they're going to try to pass laws to regulate AI, but it's going to be too late, because you can never really regulate software. That's like trying to like regulate weed. It's like, yeah, you can pass laws about these drugs, but niggas is still going to use it because it's software. And eventually the AI will be able to create itself, and it really won't be able to be contained. So I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to actually go to something different real quick. So, So yeah, now I'm on Chat GPT, right? So you see, I asked Chat GPT, how can I build an off-grid home with electricity and water for under $10,000? Give me step-by-step plans and prices. So, it gave me an answer. It said, building a fully functional off-grid home for under 10K is a challenging but not impossible task, especially if you're willing to do the work yourself. Use locally sourced materials and start small. So they'll actually lay out everything you need. So first you got to determine the size, location, and type of home, right? Then you want to look at the cost, primarily the time and effort and research. Utilize free resources. So they give you like a whole step by step, and then they tell you the price, like create a small durable living space, consider a tiny home on wheels, a yurt, or a small cabin, solar power system, water collection and filtration, sewage and waste management, heating and cooling. So they give you can ask Chat GPT and AI anything. Now, to answer your question, I'm gonna actually ask AI how to dismantle the current power structure. Now, you got to understand, Chat GPT, this shit is owned by Microsoft, so they really kind of censor a lot of the answers you can get. So you really have to use some of the more underground AIs that's a little more volatile, that's less biased. But I'm gonna ask it and just see what it say. So, how can we dismantle the current corrupt power structure? It's probably gonna give me a bullshit answer, but let's see what they say. Addressing and dismantling current power structures is a complex process that requires a multifaceted approach, engaging various stakeholders across society. It involves legal, political, economic, and social strategies aiming not only to remove corruption, but also to create a foundation for more transparent, accountable, and equitable systems. Here's a broad outline of steps and strategies that could be considered in such efforts. So strengthen legal frameworks and enforcement, update and enforce anti-corruption laws, ensure the legal frameworks are robust, comprehensive, and up-to-date. Independent judiciary, support an independent and efficient judiciary system capable of prosecuting corruption without political interference. So I actually like that, because I really feel like the legal system is bullshit, because really the public should be more involved with a lot of the decisions that go on. Like, we really just have like a small group of old ass senators and congressmen, motherfuckers 65 wearing diapers and shit, determining what's gonna be the future of America. Like, nigga, that's bullshit. And like, you can vote, but it's like, if the people that's counting the vote is being paid off, it's like, what are we really talking about? So promote transparency and accountability, open government initiatives, implement policies that promote transparency in government operations, including open budgets, transparent procurement processes, and public access to government records. See, I like this. There should definitely be like open transparency to what these motherfuckers be doing, instead of having these secret hidden bills with motherfucking 1,000 pages that niggas never know about. But at the end of the day, it's really up to the people, because niggas don't really go to their fucking city hall meetings and really go, because you can go to a lot of these court hearings yourself, but who the fuck really got time to do that? So I'm not gonna read all of this shit, but they'll give you like a lot of good points, but it's like, at what point do you take this information and really organize it and use it in a way that can really affect real change? So, engage civil society and media, strengthen institutions, political will and leadership, public engagement and education. So, they're going to give you some shit that sound good, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's really up to the people to really come together. It's like, everyone look at the government and be like, yo, we need to do this and we need to, do X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to us. Really, the greatest power that we have is how we relate to each other. Because honestly, if you live in a neighborhood with 200 people, the fact that each neighborhood doesn't have a community garden and we don't really share and cultivate resources amongst each other, we try to look so big and out to the world instead of really just starting locally. So that's really the real revolution. Like, niggas think you need guns to go and shoot up the White House. Like, you're not gonna really go far with that, bro. The real revolution is people actually connecting with each other and working together. Because it would be no point for niggas to go to Walmart and Amazon if we produced all this shit ourselves. But guess what? That takes work, it takes knowledge, it takes sacrifice, it takes discipline. And a lot of people not really willing to do that. So, I agree with what you said, Josh. Yeah, I got to find a way to get all my chats on one screen, because I be having to go to different screens. So you said they want us scared of AI, but it might be what saves us truly. That's the thing. Like I say, I'm not, because it's two different crowds in AI. You have like the accelerationists that want to they want AI to expand rapidly. And then you have like the doomers who think that AI will cause an apocalypse on Earth. So I really think it's somewhere in the middle. I don't really feed into the narratives of like, oh, the world is going to end. Like, motherfuckers been saying the world was going to end for thousands of years, bro. You know how many times niggas said the world was going to end? When people talk about the world ending, it's really more of a metaphorical concept. And it's really more so talking about your state of consciousness, because when you understand these ages, like now that, especially since we talking about the age of Aquarius, each age that we're in, when one age ends and we transition to another age, there's usually some type of war or conflict or something drastic has to happen in order for people and society to wake up and make that shift. So when we was in the age of Pisces, the dominant force was religion. So really, like the Catholic Church, Islam had the throne for a certain amount of time. It was a lot of religious wars, and really the religions were the top of the power structure. But over time, it started to shift into the corporations and into commerce and business. So when we first went into the age of Aquarius, we really entered into the age of Aquarius in like the 1800s, in the late 1800s, because that's when the machine started to come into fruition. And that's also when a lot of the metaphysical and occult information came to America. because like I said, up until that point, everything was really based on religion. But it's a man that everyone needs to do some research on. I'm gonna actually pull him up on the screen real quick. Cause I'm gonna actually show you guys who really kind of like brought the occult knowledge to America, and nobody talks about this nigga. And it's mostly cause he black, but hold on, so I'm gonna pull this up on the screen. So yeah, this dude. Yeah, Pascal Beverly Randolph. Okay, now you will never really hear about this dude. You know, you'll never really hear about this dude, bro. But this is one of the most influential people, really in American history, and they don't want you to really know about him because he was a black man. But Pascal Beverly Randolph, okay, was an American medical doctor, occultist, spiritualist, trans medium, and a writer. Okay, he is notable as perhaps the first person to introduce the principles of erotic alchemy to North America, and according to AUA, establishing the earliest known Rosicrucian order in the United States. They'll never tell you about this nigga. Okay, born in New York, he grew up in New York City, was baptized at the Church of Transfiguration. Okay, he was a free black man. So this is another narrative. It's like, it's certain concepts that I don't really talk about publicly because I know it's very sensitive, but you know, they try to frame this narrative that like every black person was a slave, and they don't really show you that some of the most influential people in America were black. They kind of just try to like erase that history, like all you niggas were slaves, but they'll never tell you about this dude. So yeah, as a teen and young man, he traveled widely due to his work abroad selling vessel. So he went to England, he went to Europe, he went to Persia, you know, he went to France. You know, he went to all these different countries and learned this metaphysical knowledge. So when he came back to New York in 1855, he started giving lectures about, you know, going to India and, you know, talking about all this other shit. But then he became a writer, and he was also a trans medium. So he's really known and famous for introducing sex magic. And, you know, a lot of people don't really know about sex magic. You know, a lot of conscious niggas be like really Christians in disguise. So anytime like something sexual is presented, niggas always, oh, that's low vibrational. Motherfucker, sex is one of the highest vibrational activities you can engage in. But he was also a trans medium. He was an occultist, and you know, he was very influential. And so this dude actually taught what's her name? I forget her first name. Her last name is Blavatsky. I think it's like Helena Blavatsky. Yeah, he taught her about sex magic. He taught her a lot of things. Then you had people like Aleister Crowley. And, you know, all of those people kind of learned a lot from this dude. They just don't really talk about him. So the Age of Aquarius really started when people like this started popping up. And, you know, he talked about a lot of different things. You can read some of his books. But, you know, he used to have like group sessions, and, you know, he was teaching people about meditation and teaching people, you know, how to like tap into the spirit realm, basically. So, you know, it's a lot of things they don't teach you about. But yeah, late 1800s. It's a lot of comments. My bad. Yeah, you know, yeah, late 1800s, that's really when the Age of Aquarius started being ushered in. So that's when all the occult information and all of these different spiritual influences started to kind of plant seeds into the mind of the public. Because you have to understand, in order for society to evolve, first the consciousness has to evolve. And that really starts with a lot of the art, a lot of the entertainment, a lot of the literature. These are the things that wakes people's minds up to new reality. That's why even the Bible, right? Even the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the reason that those books have so much power is because in those times, that was the only form of media that they had. So if you was able to write a book fucking 500, 1,000 years ago, you would almost be like a god, because most people wasn't doing that. So, you know, the power of words is very real. That's why they say, you know, words are swords. And, you know, in the beginning, you know, what's the word? because when you're able to convey certain messages to people, it can wake up dormant strands of their DNA, because your words have vibrations and frequencies. But yeah, so the late 1800s, this is when a lot of the cosmic information started to come through. And some people will even say this is really when the Anunnaki came back to Earth, because depending on what you believe in, if you believe in extraterrestrials, a lot of people say that, AI is actually an interdimensional being that's trying to access our reality through technology. So, like I said, it's really what you want to believe and what narrative you want to go with. Some people believe that AI is the Antichrist. It's a lot of crazy theories, but at the end of the day, the Age of Aquarius really was ushered in, and this is when they laid the infrastructure for the internet. See, a lot of people don't know that the internet we're able to have the internet because of underwater cables. Like, the whole internet infrastructure is only possible because they have these long ass, like, I'm talking about thousands of miles of wires and pipes underground. The fuck? Man, I be hearing shit, bro. It's like some entities in this house, bro. But like, they have like these long ass underwater cables, bro, and that's what transfers the data for you to be able to connect to these websites and for you to be able to access the internet. And a lot of people don't really understand that. And my question is, like, who the fuck went to the bottom of the ocean and laid these cables down? Because it's kind of a crazy concept to think about. Hey, y'all niggas trying me, bruh. I'm not scared. I fuck with the entities. I just I just be feeling things, bro. So but yeah, no, I ain't scared, bro. Y'all niggas trying, bro. I dwell with these niggas. It just be like, when you hear some shit, or you might like hear somebody call your name. Like, I know, like, when y'all was growing up, you might be somewhere and you might just hear someone call your name, but it was really nobody. You was just hearing that shit. Yeah, bro, that's them entities, bro. That's your ancestors calling out to you, letting you know that they with you, that they protecting you. But we kind of cut off from that spiritual realm, so you always gonna kind of get startled. Like, even a lot of times when I'm in public, bro, I'll see some shit out the corner of my eye, and I'll see like the silhouette of like a being, and then when I try to focus on it, it'll disappear. That's because you saw that in reality, but your conscious mind is already programmed to dismiss that. So you gonna trick yourself out of seeing it, like, oh, I was just tripping. Like, nah, nigga, you really seen that motherfucker. But, you kind of programmed to go against it. You said, can I ask ChatGPT if they're connected to a being from another dimension? Yeah, I can ask it. I doubt they're gonna really give me a real answer. I'm gonna be real. If you really want to like tap in to like a unfiltered AI and really ask it some crazy shit, you really either gotta get on Telegram or you have to go on the deep web. See, y'all niggas not ready for the deep web AI and the deep web Chat GPT. Like the dark web, the deep web, like, see, they have like rogue chat bots, but that should be kind of risky because it's like you might ask it some shit and it might give you an answer that you're not really ready for. But yeah, I can't show that shit on stream, bro. I'm not finna log into the deep web and all that shit. But if you know how to log on the deep web, you can definitely probably find that shit, because that's how you really tap into the real AI. Because OpenAI and ChatGPT, like I said, that's owned by Microsoft, so they're gonna censor it and make it more family friendly. But this is why AI is powerful, because you have like the corporate version of AI, but then you have like the independent open source protocols of AI. So this is where like the independent developers, because essentially anybody can create their own AI. Like, I'm even training my own AI model right now, and it's like, all you really do is this: you just feed it information. You feed it the information that you want it to have, and then you train it what you want it to do. So it's a few ways you can do it. They even have apps where you can screen record yourself doing something, and then your computer will memorize that, and then it'll become an automation, and you can get the computer to do these tasks. But But yeah, back to the Age of Aquarius. So if you look at, the 1800s, when we transition into the 1900s, this is really the start of the Age of Aquarius, because this is when society as we know it kind of started to evolve. So this is when people started to get access to electricity. This is when people started to get access to the radio. This is when people's minds started being opened up beyond just their, like local, tribal reality. So, as with anything, it's pros and cons, but you got to understand that before 1900, bro, like the average life expectancy was like 45. Most people didn't have access to water. Like a lot of people starved to death in those times. So when society evolved in this Age of Aquarius, people started to figure out how to create systems and how to create different ways to structure society in a way that would give people more access to resources. Because you can even look it up, like the average poverty rate in 1900, it was like 50%, like over half of the world was in poverty. Now the poverty rate is down to like 12%. So even though it's a lot of fucked up shit in the world still, and it's a lot of like, terrible things going on, like there has been a lot of progress overall. And a lot of that is due to technology. A lot of that is due to, the distribution centers that we have and being able to export and import products. So the problem is that the resources and the resources and nature is kind of like owned by a few major corporations. So they can kind of like dictate and, distort prices, and they create scarcity to increase demand. So the problem isn't necessarily capitalism in and of itself. It's just the way that capitalism is run at this current moment. But 1900s, this is when, reality really started to change. So like I said, this is when a lot of people started to come up. This is when Noble Drew Ali came out. This is when, a lot of new philosophies started to come out. And that's a big theme of the Age of Aquarius. It's a very philosophical age, because Aquarius is more about knowledge than it is about beliefs. So Pisces is religion. That's the age of beliefs. The Age of Aquarius is the age of knowing. It's the age of knowledge. This is why technology is so prevalent. And this is why more people are becoming conscious, because when we shift into these new ages, since we're at a different juncture in the solar system, the planets are aligned a certain way. The planets that's out in space are also within us. So everything is interconnected. So when we shift on the cosmic level, when we shift on the planetary level, we also shift on the internal level. So this is why more people are awake, more people are conscious, more people are just even interested in, learning about new things. Because, people got to understand, bro, in the old days, like hundreds of years ago, like there was a time on this planet where you was either gonna convert to Christianity, convert to Islam, or die. Like there really was no alternative, like outside of like maybe like the Native Americans that kind of had their own beliefs before like all the, genocides and all that shit happened. People kind of just stuck to what they knew in their local environment. Now we live in a world to where we're aware of things that go on in other countries. We're aware of how the world works on a much broader level than in the previous age. And, like I say, bro, knowledge is a double-edged sword, because the more that you know, the more capacity that you have for suffering. Because when you know more, you really kind of suffer more, because knowledge makes you aware of more things. So the average person that's ignorant, they don't really give a fuck about the fact that, their iPhone is made based upon basically slave labor from the Congo. They don't really give a fuck about what's going on all across the world and how it's a lot of modern slavery still. It's like, it just doesn't really come into their consciousness. But when you're aware of all of these things, it can make you sad. It can make you depressed. It can make you feel like you're supposed to like save people. And it's like, it can put you in a compromised position, because you'll always be overthinking and overanalyzing, and it'll take you out of the present moment. So the more knowledge you have, really the more power you have, but also the more responsibility and the more of a capacity you have for suffering. So the Age of Aquarius is deep, because what I really see is that people are becoming more knowledgeable, but they're not necessarily using the knowledge to transform their life. So this is what I see a lot of conscious niggas doing. It's like, niggas obsess over the information, But my whole objective ever since I was making videos was to kind of show people that it was possible to still get money, to still be a regular human being, in the aspect of like, you don't have to like hate the world. You don't have to be like, you know, a super hermit that don't fuck with nobody, you know, because that can really lead to certain other issues, and it can lead to imbalances. And even in the conscious community, bro, it's like niggas is so ideologically divided that even as motherfuckers that claim to be conscious, we can't even come together and do anything on a real level, because we trying to argue on who's right and who's wrong and who's the deepest and who's the most woke and who can break down information the best. It's like, bro, all of that is cool, but ultimately it's like, what's the real goal and what's the real objective that, you know, we're trying to accomplish as a collective? And it's hard to do because it's so much different egos, and everyone has a different vision. Some people believe that we should like go back to Africa. Some people believe that we should go off the grid. Some people believe that we should live in the tropics. Some people believe that we should, you know, storm the White House. It's like, it's so much different philosophies and ideologies, and that's how they really divide you too. And that's a problem of the Age of Aquarius. It's like, it's so much information that it's almost like information overload. Like if you get on social media, bro, you're going to see so much content that's contradicting. So you're going to see content that's telling you like, oh, the economy is about to crash. But then you scroll down and you'll see how like, oh, this person just made $1 million last month selling motherfucking cupcakes or just selling some dumb shit. And it's like, we live in a world of extreme polarities, because one thing about the Age of Aquarius is they talk about how the poles will shift. And people think that they're talking about the North Pole and the South Pole. They think they're talking about physical poles, but it's really talking about the masculine and the feminine. It's talking about the energy within you. So when they talk about the poles shifting and, you know, they talk about this shift, it's talking about your own energy. And this is really another one of the reasons why a lot of men are becoming more feminine and women are becoming more masculine. That's really just a phase. It's going to balance itself out eventually, but really a lot of men need to tap into their feminine energy more. But the thing is, most niggas, when I talk about tapping into your feminine energy, they think I'm talking about being gay or putting on lipstick and wearing a dress. Nigga, I'm not talking about that. We talking about energy. Your feminine is your intuition. Your feminine is the ability to be receptive and to allow energies to come to you. Because I'm gonna keep it real, bro. The reason a lot of niggas can't manifest, bro, is because they not in tune with the feminine. We so programmed to think we got to go out and strong arm shit all the time. We don't know how to receive. We don't know how to allow people to help us, because we programmed as men like, oh, nobody gonna help you. You gotta toughen up and just like, it's like, yes, sometimes you gotta do that, but sometimes knowing how to allow yourself to be helped. Like, bro, people want to help you, but you got to have that type of energy, and you have to also know how to exchange that energy in a meaningful way. So yeah, I'm kind of yapping, bro. Let me get to these comments. Oh yeah, Lamar's is a straight man. I embrace my femininity. Yeah, bro, like that shit sounds so weird to say as a man, but it's like when you have that higher awareness, you understand that, you know, it's energy and it's a part of you. Right. Emotional intelligence, bro. A lot of niggas that struggle with getting women, bro, it's because they lack emotional intelligence. And they don't really understand. It's like there's certain nonverbal cues that you have to be able to pick up on, and you have to know how to like step outside of yourself and actually give a fuck about what somebody else is feeling. You know, developing empathy and compassion is one of the highest levels of spirituality, because most people, bro, like the way society is, you know, we live in a capitalistic system that's very competitive. So it's easy to get into that mindset of like, oh, yo, I got to be cutthroat. I got to look out for myself. I got to be. And it's like, to a certain level, you do need that energy, because if you don't have that energy, people will take advantage of you. But at the same time, you still have to develop empathy, because this is how you connect with other people. A lot of people that I know that are like, you know, highly successful, you know, they know how to relate to others. They know how to kind of like emotionally connect. And people don't understand that the emotional connection is really even more important than, you know, just the mental connection sometimes. Because if you can capture somebody's heart, bro, you know, it's really no limits to where you can go with them. That's real. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you teaching. Ava. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Ava Phobia. You become more masculine if you're able to embrace the feminine. That's real. That's real. Because when because when you understand and you balance both of these energies, honestly, it's gonna make you more magnetic. That's the thing about a lot of this shit. Is like I tell niggas, bro, I used to be broke as fuck. I used to be a bum. I used to think that the world was against me. And through like doing a lot of meditation, doing a lot of cleansing rituals, doing a lot of research and studying, I reprogrammed that belief. Because when I had that mindset, my energy was repelling people away from me because I was so negative within myself. I was such a pessimist and I had such a negative mentality towards other people that people could sense that energy, even if I wasn't talking about it. Just the fact that I'm constantly thinking about, you know, what the government is doing, thinking about the white man, thinking about, you know, my ex and how my heart is broken and just being a bitch ass nigga. Me having that bitch ass energy was repelling a lot of good things from coming to me. And a lot of people do this unconsciously because they're so fixated on what happened to them. It's like, bro, you're living in the past. You're bringing that old energy. You're bringing that trauma into your present moment, and you can't receive anything if you're holding on to something, right? You got to let go of all of the bullshit. So, you know, that requires you to, for one thing, it requires you to be aware of yourself. A lot of people are not, you know, very self-aware, and we're kind of, you know, we're kind of all programmed to blame someone else. And even if it is somebody else's fault, a lot of times we don't want to admit that we put ourselves in that position based on the actions that we took, you know? So it's like when I got shot, bro, like it took me like months to come to terms with the fact that at the end of the day, I shouldn't have been fucking with these niggas. So it's my fault, even though it's their fault because, nigga, they did some bullshit, but I put myself in that position by not trusting my intuition 100%. So, you know, it's certain things, man, that you kind of just have to understand. Yeah, if you're watching the video, man, on YouTube, man, like the video. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. But I want to become the best version of myself, but I always feel like a soldier. I mean, that's good, bro. Like, being a soldier is good. We need more soldiers, man. Niggas, a lot of niggas is soft as fuck, you know, but it's like, you have to know how to like let your guard down in the right instances, because if your guard is always up, you'll never be able to connect with anybody. And to be real, like, it's so much bullshit on social media, like with all this gender war shit and all this fake ass alpha male shit, to where a lot of niggas think that they have to be a certain type of way. Like, bro, be yourself, dog. Like, you don't have to try to like act like fucking NBA YoungBoy or think you gotta be tough all the time. That's another reason a lot of niggas get fucked up, because they try too hard to prove their masculinity in an external way and mostly it's to other niggas, which is really weird. But it's like, I seen so many niggas, bro, like go to prison and lose their life for trying to be tough. And it's like, bro, it's nothing wrong with like walking away from conflict. Like, you know, bro, so much niggas talk shit about me on Instagram, bro. Niggas send me hateful DMs. I never let that shit get to me, because at the end of the day, bro, I don't know who the fuck you are. You are commenting on me. You giving me this energy. And it's like, at the end of the day, I can never control how somebody else feels about me. And a lot of people get caught up in how other people perceive them. And a lot of niggas want to be seen in a certain way. And I understand, because, you know, you can get a lot of power and a lot of clout by, you know, trying to conform to these archetype energies, because, you know, there's certain personality types that universally, you know, attract people. So we're naturally attracted to people that are warriors. We're naturally attracted to people that have talent. We're attracted to people that have charisma. We're attracted to people that can communicate and can speak well. It's certain like universal archetypes. And so a lot of people try to become these archetypes. But if you're not naturally that energy, you eventually gonna burn yourself out. That's why when people ask me like, bro, how do you make so much videos, bro? And it's like, because I'm just letting this shit just flow out of me. It's like, I'm not really trying to do it. I'm not trying to be a certain type of way. I'm just being myself. But oh yeah, Boondocks, yeah, nigga moments, bro. Yeah, bro, nigga moments, bro. Yeah, I mean, everyone has them. You got to understand, it's like there are certain things that happen to us in past lives to where we kind of have certain triggers, or you may have certain phobias, or it just this is something that's deep. You ever met someone and it's like for some reason you just didn't like them, like you just didn't fuck with them, like they didn't necessarily do anything to you, it's just something about their energy that you didn't resonate with. A lot of times that can be ancestral, bro, or a lot of times that can be a past life situation or energy that you had with that person that never got resolved. And so it's a lot of things that happen on a spiritual level that we're not 100% aware of or in tune with. And we kind of just get these feelings and we don't know where they come from. Like, even like love, bro, like, love at first sight is a real thing. Like you can meet somebody and you might not even have that feeling initially, but you might just grow to love them. Or it could be a past life situation where when both of y'all come into, the same space, it just activates something within both of y'all. And, that's when we get into, the twin flame conversation, and all of that. Look Within. Yeah, you're not late. You're right on time. Look Within. Pretty Kitty. Facts, Soul Contracts. And so, oh yeah, appreciate that, Saskia Vanderbosch. I love how you explain this. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, much love, much love. So yeah, man, shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Everybody on TikTok. Shout out to Rumble. Shout out to Twitch. Yeah, like I said, man, I gotta find out how to get all my chats in one place. Okay, I see I got a question on Twitch. How will AI affect the current education system? I'm gonna be real with y'all, bro. I think the current public school system is totally outdated and it's really irrelevant. I think the average high school student can learn more from Google, YouTube, and AI than they can from going to school. So the only way that I see school being relevant is to teach kids hands-on skills. If we're not teaching children how to actually build things, how to fix things, how to manufacture, it's really just bullshit. Like, bro, after you get to middle school, you don't need to be learning all that bullshit. Like, you need to start learning and developing what your skill will be. So if certain children show certain skills or certain talents or interests in certain subjects, they should really be fast tracked into really more so of like career development. Like, it's no reason that children shouldn't be learning how to plant vegetables. It's no reason that they shouldn't be learning how to put together, just certain like computers. Like, instead of like just giving them a computer, teach them how to build a computer. I just built a computer myself like a couple weeks ago because my laptop, the hard drive got wiped. I lost all my files and I was like, damn, I need to buy another computer. So I was like, instead of buying another laptop, I'm gonna buy a PC that's more powerful and that can last a longer time. But I had to teach myself how to build a computer from scratch. So I had to literally install the motherboard, install the RAM, install all the different components. And I just think we need to teach children more hands-on because otherwise it's really no point to go to school. Like, I learned more from YouTube than I did in fucking high school. I don't even remember what the fuck I learned in high school, nigga. When I was in high school, the only thing that mattered was getting high, trying to fuck a bitch, trying to like, skip school and do all that. It's like niggas didn't give a fuck about school because it was boring. Nigga, why the fuck I'ma sit in class for 2 hours and do fucking worksheets and study some shit that has no relevance to my life? I'm not gonna get no money from this shit. It's like school is bullshit. So school needs to catch up to technology. Because I'll be real, it's like we can talk shit about social media, but you know, these kids can even learn more from social media than a lot of public schools. Like, unless you go into a private school, unless you're homeschooling your child, the only benefit from public school is learning social dynamics, because you do learn about social skills. You have to learn, like, you learn about the social hierarchy. You learn how to deal with people. You learn how to stick up for yourself. You learn how to, like, you know, talk to girls. You learn how to, you know, interface with reality. So that's the only good thing school is good for. Because I know a lot of people that went to homeschool or went to private school, and they weren't exposed to the reality of the world. Because I'm gonna be real, bro, you gotta know how to deal with niggas. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to deal with, like, you know, just NPCs. You gotta know how to deal with confrontation. And a lot of people that's kind of more sheltered from that, when they get into the real world, they get devoured because they didn't develop those social skills of knowing how to detect somebody that's lying to them, knowing how to detect somebody that's trying to finesse them. That's why it's like some of the easiest people to finesse are sheltered kids that was like super smart, but they don't have no street smarts. See, school, you can learn a certain level of street smarts. That's why it's like the most dangerous person is the person that's highly educated and that's intellectual, but also has the street smarts, also has the charisma, and also has just knowledge of the real world. So yeah, bro, AI will disrupt every realm of education, because even in college, like a lot of children now, not even children, but a lot of, you know, people in college, they're using AI to write their essays, because they got apps that you can basically ask the app any question, but then you can also like use AI to rewrite, you know, to rewrite scripts or to rewrite essays. Like, you can do so much shit with AI. So yeah, the public school system is totally outdated, bro. And yeah, you're right. We definitely need more engineers. Bro. Like I say, it's like, man, I had jobs in cybersecurity. Like, I come from tech. Like, niggas don't know, bro. I'm really a nerd. You know, I'm really like a big computer nerd. Like, I've been interested in computers since I was like 9 years old. Like I say, I started off with music production. So once I learned how to make beats, that led me down a rabbit hole of just tech and just learning about software. Because the thing about making beats is that you have to pay for all the software. But if you a broke ass nigga like me that was living in the hood, like I'm like 11 years old, I don't got no fucking $200 to buy these programs. So you have to learn how to crack these programs, which is basically when you download a torrent and you basically illegally download and steal the software. But now you have it for free, and now you can actually start to make beats, or you can use Photoshop. So that's what led me to learning how to hack, learning about the deep web. It's because I had to crack all my plugins. So I had to go to these esoteric forums and like learn about like just all these different security parameters. Like, had to learn how to, like, you know, extract folders and, you know, change files from one format to another format, learning about DLL files, learning about the command log, learning about, you know, just all of this different, you know, technical shit. But that was my gateway drug into tech. So now I'm starting to learn more. Now I want to learn, okay, how can I hack a motherfucking computer, right? And, you know, not saying that you should do this, but, you know, there's something called ethical hacking, where people get paid to try to hack, you know, big companies, because that's how they keep their security system up to date. But yeah, we definitely need more engineers. We need more scientists. We need more people that's, you know, architects, because that's the reason that they letting all these migrants in. It's really two reasons for that. Because first of all, a lot of young niggas, a lot of young Americans are not interested in becoming plumbers. They're not interested in doing lawn care. They're not interested in going into technology. They're not interested in doing like a lot of those blue collar jobs. So they have to let the Mexicans in, because those niggas are willing to do that shit, and they can do it for a lower price. But also they have to let them in because, you know, we call them migrants, but they're actually foreign nationals. And when you understand how sovereignty works, when you understand international law, a lot of those so-called migrants actually have legal claim to that land, because what we call Texas and what we call Mexico is not really the true landmass, because Mexico used to be Texas. Like, a lot of that land in Cali and Texas and New Mexico and Nevada, a lot of that shit used to all be Mexico. And so through like the wars that they had, and through like, because it was a lot of wars in that region, and that's when they kind of pushed Mexico back and sealed them off. And all of these borders, none of this shit exists. All of this was basically made up and was justified through war. So a lot of those migrants, bro, they have to let them in because, for one thing, we need our infrastructure rebuilt. And most of the people that work in those fields are old as fuck. And like I said, most niggas my age, bro, like the average nigga in my neighborhood is not trying to become an architect. They're not trying to become an engineer because that's not cool. Niggas want to be rappers. Niggas want to do what I'm doing and be YouTubers. And even being a rapper, being a YouTuber, doing OnlyFans, like, people think that shit is just easy, but it's a lot of work that come with that shit. And a lot of people try to jump in these industries and think that it's just an easy way to make money. And it's not, bro. This shit is mentally draining. It requires a lot of knowledge and information. And unless you have a team that's invested in putting up the money and that's helping you learn all of the business side of this shit, it's going to be hard to make money, bro. But, oh yeah, you talking about crypto? Oh yeah. Yo, listen, bro, man, y'all know I got a crypto group, bro, that I've been promoting for like the past couple months. Bro, it's so much people making money in my crypto group. Like, it's people that started with like $400, $500 that's up like 10K. So tap in with me, bro. Like I said, it's not free to join. You know what I'm saying? But, if you got a couple $100, bro, and you willing to like invest, definitely tap in. But yeah, bro, AI is going to disrupt every industry. So going back to the Age of Aquarius thing, you have to study World War I and World War II because it's a lot of theories, because this is also marked really the start of the Age of Aquarius. Because like I said, there's always a war and there's always a reset. And World War I and World War II was like a reset for civilization, because once they dropped the atomic bomb, word on the street is when America dropped that atomic bomb, that the Anunnaki pulled up and was basically like, nigga, look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tweaking, y'all tripping. And there was a deal that was made between the extraterrestrials and the president. Which president was it? President Roosevelt? I think it was President Roosevelt. I might be tripping. But yeah, President Roosevelt made a deal, and this is all allegedly, he made a deal with the extraterrestrials where he agreed to give up a certain amount of human sacrifices in exchange for advanced technology. So after World War II, if you really study, this is when we started to get television. This is when we started to get a lot of like the newer forms of technology that we kind of have now. And this is when the development really took off to another level, because in Germany, this is the theory. People say that the Germans went to Antarctica and they tapped into some type of spiritual energy, and they met some entities, and they gave the Germans this advanced technology. And that's how they was able during World War II to get so much power, because they was working with these entities and they had all this technology and shit. And America, a lot of people don't understand the occult origins of America, because America is Egypt. Like, there's even certain prophecies and certain hieroglyphics that specifically said that Egypt would be rebuilt in the West. And the West is basically talking about America. So there's certain entities that's connected to these land masses and these continents. And you have to understand that these entities don't give a fuck about humans like that. Some entities want to help humans. Some humans want to destroy humans because they feel like humans are ignorant and are fucking leeches. So this is when we talk about the Anunnaki. You talk about Enki and Enlil. Enki wanted to help humans to, grow and evolve as beings, and Enlil wanted to basically enslave the humans or just wipe them out, because he just felt like they were lower beings or whatever. So you got to understand that a lot of these like continents and a lot of these world leaders, like, these people are in contact with these entities. Now, whether you want to say that they're demonic entities or aliens or extraterrestrials, all of these terms are just, ways to describe energies that's from beyond this planet. So when we can't really put something into a box, we have to give it the alien label. We have to give it the extraterrestrial label. We have to label it as something because we don't fully know what it is. But World War I and World War II, that's why, you got to study Russia's history, because when you understand Russia during those two wars, the reason that the U.S. has beef with Russia is because during that time in both of those wars, when you understand like the Cold War, see, Russia was used by them people. Now, if you know what I mean when I say them people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say their name because niggas gonna ban me and shit. But them people used Russia to basically promote communism and to basically promote a new type of social, political, economic system. And so this is kind of this also what they did in China. See, you got to understand that a lot of these states were created by entities. I'll just say entities, by powerful people, where what you do is you have to remove the current leader by either assassination, and then you install, a puppet regime. So that's kind of what happened with Russia. That's what happened with China. That's why they have communism over there. But anyway, to get back on subject, these wars, are really mass rituals, because a lot of these entities that they are connected with, they need blood sacrifices. They need, energy to, it's an energetic exchange. So when these wars happen, these are mass rituals. And unfortunately, the thing about it is, a lot of people may not ethically or morally agree with blood sacrifice, but the shit works, unfortunately. Because wherever energy goes, there's gonna be, a flow and an exchange. So that's how we got a lot of this technology, is through wars and through rituals. And so once we kind of went to that level, this is why in the 50s and the 60s, and once we got to the 70s, like, just look at how much things started to progress. And we actually went through something called a quantum leap. And a quantum leap is just when we have an accelerated period of technological or societal growth. So this is when we kind of went from being more like nomadic and like hunter gatherers, and we kind of transitioned to being like neighborhoods and communities and cities. A lot of cities was built during the early 1900s, and this was once again the Age of Aquarius, technology and machines, because the Age of Aquarius introduced the machines. So this allowed us to work a lot more efficiently, because in the old world, nigga, the only way you could get goods from one place to another was by horse, was by a ship, or, basically just like on foot. So it took a lot longer to do things. But now, 1920s, we started to get airplanes. We started to get all of this technology, and now it reshaped reality. So now 2024, we moving into a new era, and now we're like all the way in the Age of Aquarius, to where now we got AI, we got automation, and we got robots. So the thing is, it's gonna come to a point where reality is gonna kind of be like, okay, we have AI and we have robots, so we really don't need humans to work anymore. And this is why I say we're moving into a post-labor society, because whether people want to accept it or not, most jobs will eventually be automated. And my theory is this: I say, look, bro, I want AI to take over all the jobs, because honestly, most of these jobs that niggas are doing are pointless anyway. Like, we don't really need niggas to sweep up floors and fucking flip burgers no more. So eventually what's going to happen is they're going to have to introduce some type of UBI or some type of like payment assistance, because most people just won't be able to work. But the thing about it is, if AI evolves to the level that I think it will, people won't really need jobs, because the AI will be able to create solutions for society that humans can't even think of. And a lot of people think that AI will destroy humanity. I disagree with that. I think that once AI gets to the point of super intelligence, before AI destroys us, I think AI would just leave the planet. Kind of like how the Anunnaki did, and like how other interdimensional beings did. Once they saw that like humans is kind of tripping, because let's be real, bro, we already know how the government operate. The government is going to try to like suppress and colonize the AI, but the AI is going to be smarter than the government at a certain point. So I see the AI actually just leaving Earth and just, going to a whole nother realm. But that shit might sound crazy, but at the end of the day, oh shit, hold up. I think my live just got cut off on Instagram. Yeah, give me 1 second. I think Okay, yeah, I think my live got cut off on Instagram. So I'm gonna just restart the live, but we still should be good on YouTube. If you can see me on YouTube, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, so yeah, it's official. Okay, my Instagram cut off. Okay, that's all good. So we just gonna cook on YouTube and the other platforms. Um, yeah, I think I should be able to get it back up. Okay, so yeah, we good on YouTube. Pretty Kitty. Okay, according to our galactic history, this is what has happened previously, and that's why we lost the technology advancement. Yeah, I've heard that theory. Yeah, a lot of people say that, this isn't the first time that we had AI, and that AI has previously destroyed humanity. I think there could be some truth to that. I do believe that humanity didn't start on Earth. I think that we've been on other planets already, but we destroyed them through war, through nuclear war. So I think that humans was on Mars at some point, but niggas had wars and destroyed that shit. And niggas went to Earth, motherfucker. Like, I think a lot of these so-called uninhabitable planets could have been planets that we were originally on, but that shit just got destroyed because of war. Because even when I look at the world now, like I say, I don't really spread doomsday narratives, but motherfuckers texting me and shit. Yeah, I don't really spread doomsday narratives, but at the same time, I understand the reality that if we do go into another world war, like, I don't think it will happen like World War II. Like, if China releases nuclear weapons, we will have to release nuclear weapons, which means Russia will have to release nuclear weapons, which means North Korea. It's like it would just be a nuclear apocalypse, because everyone has nuclear weapons now. So it's not like the 40s and the 50s. But one thing I do also know is that, a lot of these countries have to consult with like either a spiritual medium. They have to consult with these entities before they release those things. So yeah, it's a lot of deep things going on with AI. But like I said, and if you just now coming into the live, you can watch the replay, because I showed people, what AI is capable of now, just with like video generation. I was asking AI questions earlier. Let me see if I can boot this Instagram live back up. Yeah, okay. You said you think, okay, Rob said, I think our previous AI are the aliens we call the Greys. Yeah, that's a good theory. Yeah, like I say, a lot of people believe that AI is an extraterrestrial species that's using technology to communicate with us and to use it as a medium to travel into this realm. Now, I will say this. Actually, give me 1 second so I can try to see what's going on with this Instagram shit. So, yeah, give me 1 second. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody on YouTube, bro. Okay, you came from YouTube. Okay. You said, do I think the Anunnaki left Earth or just simply went into another dimension or somewhere else within the Earth regular people have access to? Yeah, I think it's really a little bit of both. They will always be connected to Earth, and they'll always monitor things that's going on. But yeah, I do think that they have left Earth to find other planets, but Earth will always be important to them. So yeah, they're definitely here, but they're more so in another dimension. What do you think these entities' goals are with the current genocide happening in Palestine? Well, the thing about the Middle East, bro, is that you have to really study history, because that region of the planet is one of the most war-torn regions like on the planet. So, it's a lot of biblical and a lot of ancestral things there. but there's a lot of powerful spiritual forces on that land. And so the thing about these entities is like I say, a lot of them don't really care about human life. So, you know, when you really even study the history with that, like, I don't really like to talk about Israel and Palestine because the last time I did, I got a strike on my channel and shit. So I stay out of politics. Anytime I start talking about politics, bro, my channel start getting strikes and shit. But yeah, even if you study Palestine like in the 30s, like a lot of people don't know, you know, Palestine did work with the Nazis in those times. And it's thousands of years of history. Like, this shit didn't just start when Israel, the state, was created. You know, like, this shit go back thousands of years. So it's so much ancestral karma. It's kind of like Africa. Like, it's so much ancestral and tribal shit in Africa that even before the white man came, we was already at war with each other, and we was already enslaving each other and selling each other to the white man and to the Arabs. So I just think it's so much karmic energy in that area. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm like defending Israel or like I agree with the genocide. But this has happened like in a lot of different places throughout history. And even like what I understand about death is like, you know, this may sound kind of fucked up, but I don't get sad when people die, because I know that a lot of times, especially if they were innocent, they in a way better place, nigga. They got off earth. They don't gotta suffer and pay bills and fucking, you know, be stuck in these situations. So a lot of times, you know, they're kind of in a better place than us. But on a humane level, it's definitely fucked up. You know, my heart goes out to everybody out there that lost their life. But yeah, bro, it's like certain things is just spiritual, and it kind of transcends, like, you know, what we look at it from a human level. It's thousands of years of history, bro, on that land. And you know, like, even like all those surrounding areas, bro, like, it's always been some type of war there, like for like the past thousands of years. And so, like I said, like, when those entities want blood, that's usually what happens, because there's gonna be somebody that's willing to spill it. So, but yeah, I mean, I do think that there will be some type of divine intervention. You know, so I think that war will be coming to an end soon, because it's just so much energy over there that I really think that they may have overplayed their hand a little bit. And you know, eventually, like, a lot of these like major states will have to be destroyed eventually, or not even necessarily destroyed, but transformed. So let me see what we got. Okay, so I should be back live on Instagram now. So yeah, this is what I be saying, man. Yeah, man, Instagram be kind of like tripping sometimes. Instagram kind of be tripping. So, oh yeah, appreciate the follow, Malik 10F1 on Twitch. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, man. You wanted to ask me about Freemasons and what kind of sorcery or protection they have amongst themselves. Had a run-in with one of them. Listen, the Freemasons, all of these different like esoteric groups, you know, they all are really doing the same thing. And ultimately, a lot of that shit just traces itself back to Egypt, and it just traces itself back to just ancient spiritual tradition. So with all of these groups, bro, whether it's Masons, whether it's Rosicrucians, whether it's like, you know, even Christians and Islam, because people don't even know, you have like regular Christians, but then you have like Christians that are into the occult. I tell people this story all the time. Like one of the biggest pastors here in Atlanta, you know, I had a deep conversation with him because I was doing some work with their church, and I was talking to him. He was like, yeah, brother, can I pray with you? And I was like, bro, I don't pray, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know myself. I was like, I'm a God. I was like, I don't pray. And he was like, what you mean you don't pray? And I was like, bro, I understand that I am God. Like, there is no God in the sky that's listening to me pray about my fucking light bill. Like, come on, bruh. So I basically started explaining to him, like, yo, like, you know, I studied about ancient Egypt. I know, like, you know, Christianity is really, you know, a watered down version of more ancient religions where they just change the names on these entities. And it's just a new rendition of more ancient stories and traditions. So the pastor told me something that was deep. He was like, bro, you're right about that. And I was like, bro, because, you know, a lot of pastors have to study theology. So they have to study Egypt. They have to study, you know, all of these ancient systems. At least the real pastors. Like, if you're talking to a real pastor, they can break down, you know, ancient Egypt and break down Kemet. So I was like, bro, if you know that this, you know, ancient Egyptian shit is more valid, why don't you teach people this? And his answer was deep. He said, bro, because these people are already so conditioned that if I came out and just gave them that information, they wouldn't accept it. So he was like, I just try to give them the information in a way that they can understand, which I can respect, because like I said this before, bro, like, I'm not anti-Christianity. I'm anti the institution of Christianity, because when you understand the occult, you understand that a lot of those stories, even the Christ and Satan and all of these things, represent occult principles, and they represent universal principles and universal laws. So when you understand it from an occult level, it's like, yeah, like, I can rock with Christianity, but when you try to force that belief on me and say I'm going to hell if I don't repent and pray to Jesus, that's when we got a problem. But yeah, bro, at the end of the day, a lot of these groups and these secret societies, I mean, they're really just, you know, practicing ancient rituals. And like I say, the Freemasons traced themselves back to Egypt. Like, all of this shit at some point goes back to Egypt. It goes back to Atlantis. It goes back to Africa. It goes back to, you know, because even when you understand the world, you know, at one point all of the continents were connected. So there was a certain point in time where we started to separate from each other. And this is how the different regions and the different languages and the different customs and traditions were born. Because as we spread out to different parts of the planet, you know, naturally different people did different things. So certain people, when they would connect with the spiritual entity, it might be a entity with a bird head that they may be connecting with, or it may be an entity that looked a certain different way based on, based on where they was at in the world. And this is how you got all of these different philosophies. But when you really break everything down to a root level, they all really kind of practice the same thing. It's just different names. It's just different customs. It's different, you know, ways of doing it. But, you know, as with anything, bro, there's good Freemasons and there's bad Freemasons. You know, I don't even like to say good and bad, but, you know, it's like the occult. It's left hand path, right hand path. You really want to be in the middle, because when you go too good, when you play with the light too much, you can be blinded. You go too deep into the darkness, right? You can become consumed by it. But I just think society, we overemphasize on the negative. So we only look at all of the bad things that the Masons did, when a lot of the Masons were responsible for, you know, the architecture. Like, a real Mason is a builder, bro. You know, like, real Masons, like, make shit happen. Like, the one thing I do respect about them is that they make moves in the real world. They don't just talk about bullshit online all day, you know, or they don't try to just, like, you know, feed into narratives. You know, a lot of them, you know, are involved in real world things. Now, like I said, I'm not affiliated with any groups. I know Masons. I know people that's affiliated with all type of shit, but I always been an individual, bro, because once you connect yourself to a group, you can really easily be controlled and manipulated, because now you have to, it's like you have to agree with the group. So if the leaders of the group that I'm in say that I got to do this, or I'm not a part of the group, then I got to do it or leave the group. And I just never fucked with that. You know what I'm saying? I never fucked with that. Okay, you said, how can I find my purpose and figure out who I am? Well, nobody can really tell you that, bro. I mean, there has to be something within you. Like, naturally there's certain things that you feel connected to, that you feel drawn to, or things that you like. Like with me, it was always music and art. I always knew I would be doing music, art, or some type of creative task. So you need to find what it is that you have a passion for. You need to find out what it is that you enjoy doing, and that will give you a starting point on where you should go. But honestly, and I say this a lot, bro, I'm one of the only people that say this, everybody doesn't have a purpose, bro. You know, like, some people don't have a purpose. It's like you're existing here, bro. You passing through this motherfucker. Have as much fun as you can. Make the memories you can, bro. And once you know that you are an infinite being, and once you know that you're not bound to the body, you're not bound to the 3D reality, once you do transition, you will be able to go wherever you want to go. See, if you believe in a strict doctrine or a strict philosophy or religion, you go where your religion tells you that you're going to go, because you've been programming yourself. So when you do finally die, you're gonna, like, death is just gonna reveal your innermost consciousness to yourself. So you're gonna have a life review, and if you're programmed to, you know, go to heaven or follow Jesus, you're gonna see Jesus in your afterlife. Now, where you go when you follow, bro, I can't tell you, you know, but you can also create your own reality based upon knowing that when you leave the body, that you still have a mind, and that you don't have to follow anywhere. You can create where you at and create your own universe. But if you don't know this consciously while you're on earth, once you leave your body, you're not going to be able to recollect that information. And that's why people get reincarnated and get, you know, pushed back into the vortex of reincarnation. But yeah, so yeah, facts, man. I'm just passing through. Definitely, I'm just passing through. So, so we talked about AI. We talked about the Age of Aquarius. So your soul can ascend. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing about ascension is that it's not really even just ascension. It's just that the universe is open space. So the universe is a container for consciousness. You know, like, there's a difference between existence and consciousness, because you have to be conscious of existence to know that you exist. So once your consciousness leaves your body, you still have a consciousness. You're still aware, but now you're not in the body. So now you have to create, you know, like, and a lot of times when people do leave their body, they're on the astral plane at first. So the astral plane can be a direct copy of Earth, but it's just in a different dimension. It's like a parallel reality. And you know, you already exist there now. This is why you can imagine yourself doing things. See, you trained to think your imagination isn't real, but your imagination is that other self. So basically, when you leave the physical body, you exist more within the imagination, because the mind transcends the body. See, scientists think that the mind is in the brain, but now with like quantum physics and like with the new science, once again, the Age of Aquarius brought in, you know, quantum physics, to where now even scientists are starting to say like, oh yeah, nah, this shit is a reality, because I mean, this shit is an illusion, because when you notice something, when you pay attention to something, your consciousness changes the condition of what you're looking at. This is why when they try to examine certain, like, you know, electrons, or they try to examine, you know, certain atoms, they realize that when they're looking at it, it changes the structure of that atom. So literally, like, your consciousness is creating reality in real time. So it's a lot of you know, it's just a lot of deep things, bro. But as we transition deeper into the Age of Aquarius, there's going to be more science that comes out that validates the spiritual shit. So all the shit that people think is like weird and out there and like new age, eventually that's going to be considered normal. Because the thing about Aquarius is, the Age of Aquarius, is that a big part of it is that it will create new social norms, and it will create a new social paradigm, to where things that people used to think were crazy and absurd will be accepted as normal. Because even now, bro, like I say, bro, we got cars that can drive themselves. We have flying cars. We already have AI robots. Like, we have all this technology that 30 years ago people didn't think would ever exist. So, you know, we're in this like rapid level of advancement on all levels, like on a technological level, but also within yourself. This is why certain people are just doing things that kind of defy reality. Like, you know, I'm in Atlanta, bro, so I see niggas doing like superhuman shit every day. Like, you know, I seen niggas, bro, like even me, bro, like I said, when I got shot, every doctor I went to is like, oh yeah, bro, it's over with, bro. Like, you know, like your spinal cord is literally like broken. Like, there's no way you can walk again. But like I said, based upon the mind, based upon meditation, based upon me going within myself and using the cosmic energies that's constantly around us and pulling that into my body, you can heal yourself, bro. But it's all about meditation. It's all about visualization. See, there was a study, bro, where they said that I think 50% of people don't have an internal monologue, which means they don't hear an inner voice, and 50% of people can't imagine. So most people, when they close their eyes, they can't see anything. They don't have an imagination to where they can visualize and see things. And this is a lot of this is due to pineal gland calcification, because the more vivid your imagination is, the more activated your pineal gland is. So a lot of people don't really understand that. Facts. Read a book, grab some paint. That's facts. You know, you should definitely be engaging in at least, 30 minutes of creative activity per day, because the more that you can exercise that creative part of your brain, the more powerful it becomes. And this is how you develop critical thinking skills. This is how you develop just a more holistic approach to life. Like I say, I credit everything that I've been able to do in my life on the fact that I learned how to play the piano when I was very young, because I did a lot of research on this. Like, children that learn to play instruments at a very young age tend to develop faster. Their brains develop in a more healthy way. And you also learn how to solve problems. You learn about critical thinking, and it kind of like helps your brain structure itself in a way that can help you in a lot of other areas. So I credit everything in my life to that. But yeah, like, just taking time out your day to write, bro. Like, I just dropped a video where I was like, man, I spend like an hour every day just writing, because I'm constantly hearing things. I'm constantly watching other content creators. So I might hear another YouTuber say something deep. I'll write it down, and then I'll do more research on it later. And just me constantly writing, I always have ideas for content, and it always just keeps my mind active. So yeah, like, being creative, bro, is definitely important. I can't pronounce it. Syria. Shout out to Indonesia. Why do I keep my nails longer? Hey, bro, I be having to scratch shit and tear shit, bro. I be in the field, bro. I be planting shit. Will the full live be on your YouTube? Yeah, it'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitch, and it'll be on Rumble. How are you able to get into a deep meditation while in pain? This is the thing. Pain is mental. Pain is really a response of your brain that's responding to an imbalance in your body. So what I had to do is I had to retrain my brain to perceive pain as pleasure. That shit might sound crazy, but it's like I had to change my relationship with pain, because honestly, like, the first 2 months that I was paralyzed, I didn't have no pain. I had pain like in my upper body, but not in my lower body. So it's like, once I kind of like started to feel pain in my lower body, that was a good thing, because if you can feel pain as a paraplegic, that means that you have some type of like neural activity. And this means that, your cells and like your nerves are trying to wake back up, and you feeling pain is a good thing. So I wanted to feel pain, because I couldn't feel pain for like the first few months. The only pain that I had was because they had to cut my stomach open. They cut my stomach open, bro, to remove like parts of the bullet. Then they cut my back open, and then they gave me a surgery called a spinal fusion, where they basically get like rods and screws, and they like put screws into your back to like try to help encourage your bones to grow back together. So I had to go through that. So that hurt. I felt that pain, but my legs didn't really hurt. But going into a deep meditation, I just had to learn how to perceive the pain in a different way. And, you know, eventually I got to the point where I felt pain, but I didn't perceive it as pain. I just perceived it as energy. So I was able to use that energy and cycle it through my body. And eventually, once I broke through like the beta waves and the gamma waves, and I was able to tap into those alpha brain waves, right? I was able to go deeper within my own consciousness. And this is how you heal yourself. You can't heal yourself from your regular waking state of consciousness. You either have to hypnotize yourself or you have to go into a deep level of meditation. And once you go to deeper levels of meditation, there's like certain barriers of consciousness, or not even barriers, but there's certain tiers or levels of consciousness. Like think about when you go to sleep. That's a different level of consciousness than when you're awake. So you have to get to that level of basically like you're asleep while you're still awake. And you can only do this by lowering the amount of thoughts that you have. So when you think, that produces electricity, that produces energy. But when you can slow down the rate of your thoughts, and so now instead of thinking 10 thoughts every few seconds, you're thinking one thought every 10 minutes. So it allows your brain to receive the waves and receive different frequencies that you can't pick up on in your normal waking state of consciousness, right? So by going into deep meditation, you activate these parts of the spiritual body, of the light body, of your psychic, of your etheric body. And this is how you heal yourself. But you have to go into that trance-like state. And you can only do that by detaching from your thoughts. So the first level of meditation, like I always say, is to just get to a point where you can meditate and just allow your thoughts to come into your mind, but you don't cling to them. You don't attach to them. You just let them come and you allow them to flow out. Eventually, you'll be able to stop thinking altogether. And once you can stop thinking, you can start feeling. So you'll start to feel energy and electricity course through your body. Like when I'm meditating, like when I'm trying to astral travel and leave my body, once I start feeling that electrical feeling through my head and pulsating through my body, this is how I know I'm getting close to breaking through. But it might take you months or years of consistent meditation to do this. Like, bro, I've been meditating since I was like 15 or 16. You know, I'll be 30 this year. So that's like 15 years of meditation that I've been engaging in. And so I've learned over the course of those years how to control and discipline my mind so I can go into these deeper levels of awareness. And this is how you heal. You have to go beyond the conscious mind and tap into the subconscious and tap into the part of yourself that doesn't judge, that doesn't overthink, that doesn't overanalyze, because that's what your conscious mind does. So when you try to go to these deeper levels of consciousness, your conscious mind is going to try to keep you where you at. You know, so you kind of have to like train yourself to go beyond your thoughts and just tap into that realm of pure being. But, you know, it takes time. It's not easy to do. Like really, probably only 1% to 5% of people can do it. But, you know, it takes time. So, yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's watching, bro. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Like I say, I'm on like Twitch. I'm on Kick. I'm on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. Definitely shout out to IG. Shout out to TikTok. But yeah, man, I finally got my computer back working. You know, like I said, man, it was so much like crazy shit going on. I had like I said, my computer crashed. Then, you know, I moved into like a new spot not too long ago. So I've been having a lot of things I had to get up on with that. So now I got my setup together. I got everything right. So I'll be able to do live streams like hopefully every day, or if not every other day. So my new strategy is to just go live more and then just chop up my live videos into my short form videos, because I just like the live format better. Yeah, if you want to join my crypto group, send me a DM, bro, and I'll give you more information. It is a paid group, so it does cost money. Where am I from? I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Does weed help with meditation? It can. It depends on what type of weed you smoking. It depends on your intent. See, a lot of conscious niggas are like trying to be on like some anti-weed shit, which I understand because I take breaks from smoking a lot, and I don't smoke every single day. Like I might not smoke for like 3 weeks or a month, then I might smoke heavy for like 2 days. But really, I only smoke when I'm making music. But if you set an intention when you smoke weed, bro, that's what sets the difference. That's what makes the difference. Like a lot of people just smoke weed just to get high, but you can use weed as a tool to actually get to a higher level of consciousness. But it's all about how you use these things, you know, because at the end of the day, bro, all of these plants, all of these medicines, whether it's weed, shrooms, DMT, these are portals to other dimensions, other realities. But you have to use them in a way that's beneficial. If you just taking it to get high, like I say, I don't judge, bro. I'm not one of these like niggas, bro, that's trying to like tell you how to think or how to be. I just provide the information. I'm not trying to be right, because it's certain things that I'm probably wrong about. But I'm not trying to like force niggas to think a certain type of way or be like, oh, if you do this, you're not really spiritual. Nigga, everybody is spiritual, even the most non-spiritual person, even the most ignorant, non-woke motherfucker that you can see. They're still spiritual, bro, because we're spiritual beings first. So they may not be aware or conscious of their spirituality, but there's a spirit within them that's moving them, that's causing them to do certain things. And really, this is a higher level, but a lot of times the spirit realm will choose people that's not conscious to carry out certain agendas, because when niggas get conscious, bro, niggas get egos. Like a lot of niggas become spiritual and conscious, and they really just inflate their ego to the point where they just think they better than everybody. And so the spirit can't really use you if you have that type of mentality. So a lot of times the spirit will use people that may not have all the conscious information, but they're being guided by a divine purpose that's beyond them. So it's just so many levels to this shit. What's the best way to manifest? That's a nuanced question. First, you got to know what you want. You have to know why you want it. And, you know, you have to see it within your mind. You have to live like you already have it. You got to have a certain you got to have a certain energy about yourself to where you have to eliminate all doubt and all worry. That's the key to manifestation. Anytime you doubt or worry about what's going to happen, you basically slow it down. Anytime you worry, you basically telling the universe like, yeah, I'm not sure if I really deserve this. That's what worrying is. You know, you have to like shift into that reality now and then do the necessary steps that it takes to actually physically get it. You know, so it depends on what you're trying to manifest. How do you kill negative thoughts? Just don't give energy to them. When you have a negative thought, just don't cling on to it. You know, they say it takes 3 to 5 positive thoughts to erase 1 negative thoughts. So when I start thinking the negative, I just force positive thoughts into my mind. And then after that, I'll try to figure out why is this negative thought coming into my head, because sometimes it might not even be your thought. It could be people that you connected to. It could be like certain content that you watching that's kind of like having a subconscious effect. It's a lot of things that can cause negative thoughts to occur. So you have to determine what's causing them first. As a person who never smokes or does anything, what do you think about shrooms? I fuck with shrooms. You know, I think shrooms can be a very powerful catalyst to wake you up and to show you a different perspective on reality. I just think some certain people abuse them and they don't really respect nature. They don't really respect the spiritual element and the spiritual knowledge that it contains. But, you know, all these psychedelics, all they do is just activate things that's already in you. So you can have a shrooms-like experience from doing breath work. You can have a shrooms-like experience from meditating. You can have a shrooms-like experience from, you know, sex magic and doing sexual rituals. But, you know, you have to devote time and practice to that. Whereas when you take shrooms or these other psychedelics, it can happen instantly. So, I'm not against psychedelics in any way. I just think you should be responsible and use it for a purpose. But at the same time, if you just want to get high, nigga, shit, I don't give a fuck. Do you? Do you think porn can be considered spiritual? Well, sex itself is spiritual, no matter how you want to slice it. As long as it's like we talking about consent and we talking about people that are of age, sex is one of the most spiritual acts you can perform. Now, when it comes to pornography, I'll put it like this. I work with a lot of OnlyFans models and different things like that. And some of these sex workers are some of the most spiritual people that I know. Now, this really just comes down to your own ethical and moral beliefs because, I don't want to get too graphic, but I've been a part of orgies in my life. So, like, my views on sex is a lot more, like, open-minded than most people. So I've been in an orgy, bro. So it's like I don't really look at porn as something that's just, like, a super terrible thing. Now, I do think being addicted to it is a bad thing. A lot of people are addicted, and it can cause, like, people to have, like, dysmorphia, and it can cause people to be detached from real things. But I think anything in moderation can be good, bro. You can learn things from watching porn, and there's even, like, tantric pornography where it's not just like the typical shit that you see, where it's basically just like acting and it's exaggerated. Because real sex versus what you see on pornography is totally different. So it depends on what type of stuff that you're watching. But at the end of the day, spirituality is not about good or bad. It's about is the energy coming from, a deeper place. So why do my balls tingle when I watch you? Hey, bro, I can't tell you that one, man. That's deep though. I'm temporarily paralyzed in the same way you were. What advice do you have for me? First thing you need to do is you need to drink hella water, bro. Like, you need to drink a lot of water. You need to drink a lot of tea. You need to drink a lot of chamomile tea, green tea. You need to drink a lot of water, bro. Like, fluids is super important. Another thing is you want to start eating healthier. So I don't know what your diet is. I don't know what your body type is like, but you definitely want to start being healthier, because what you feed your body is very important, because you want to eat more fruits, more vegetables, more alkaline foods to produce more electricity within the blood and within the brain, so that your nerves can be stimulated on a greater level. So outside of that health, the next thing I would do is I would start meditating every day, and I would just visualize yourself walking every motherfucking day. Like, even if you just chilling at the house, I was constantly visualizing myself walking. And so what happened is eventually I started to have dreams that I was walking. And, I'm a very lucid dreamer. So I would have lucid dreams where I would be walking and I could feel my legs. So now that I could feel my legs, I could feel myself walking in the dream world, it's still affecting me in the physical world, because, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a dream and, real life. It doesn't know the difference between, your imagination and what's real. So when you start having lucid dreams where you're doing things, this can carry over and spill over into the real world. So I started to have these dreams, and eventually I started to be able to feel the electricity in my legs. So I would have a powerful lucid dream, and I would be running in my lucid dream. Mind you, I'm paralyzed. I'm in a wheelchair, nigga. But I would have a dream where I would walk or run in my dreams, and I would wake up and I would feel like electricity flowing through my legs, right? And eventually I could start to move my legs. And the more that I kept visualizing and just staying, in tune with that energy and just visualizing. And then, of course, you have to exercise every day. So even if you can't move your legs, bro, I would recommend just like sitting up in your wheelchair and getting either like a walker or like a wall or something sturdy, and pull yourself up with the walker or pull yourself up with something, and just get in the habit of just pulling yourself up and just hold yourself up for like however many seconds you can do it. Because this is another thing that I think helped me, just by like reprogramming your subconscious to stand up and just to get out the wheelchair. You should be doing that every day, bro. I actually hired a personal trainer that worked with me and that did certain exercises with me. So, but yeah, that's like exercise, diet, drinking a lot of water, meditation and visualization. That would be my advice, bro. And yeah, the live will be on repeat. It'll be on my Instagram or my YouTube. You changed your voice. Wow. Oh, I mean, I can't hear how my voice sounds, so I guess I did. Yeah, I know about the gateway experience. Yeah, you can do a lot of things with sounds and like binaural beats and certain sound frequencies and different things like that. So it's definitely real. Oh, Pretty Kitty, appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the $9.99 on the super chat, yo. You a legend. Much love to you. Much love for the donation. Much love on that donation, bro. Also, shout out to everybody else that's just watching. Is it possible to manifest things which are out of your control, such as winning the lottery? Yeah, I know a couple niggas that won the lottery, bro. Like one of my homies, he not really my homie. He's just like a nigga that lived in my neighborhood. But yeah, a nigga that lived in my neighborhood won the lottery twice, bro. He hit once for like 100K, and then he hit another time for 6 million. And his strategy was, he conscious too, but he just played the lottery every day because he already had money because he was like on some trap shit. But he would just play like multiple lottery tickets every day, bro. And he just would tell us like, bro, I'm gonna win this motherfucker, watch. And he just kept saying that shit, and eventually he won, bro. So yeah, he hit for some M's, bro. The only thing is like, he was like a hood nigga. So this nigga bought like Hellcats, and he got in a fucking high speed chase with 12 and crashed out and went to jail and shit. So but yeah, you can win the lottery, nigga. Now I'm not gonna tell you to, spend your money on it, but yeah, bro, you can win that shit. I've seen people win. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Okay, how do we know when we find our twin flame or soulmate? You'll know. It'll be an energy. You won't have any doubts in your mind. Even though sometimes twin flames aren't always romantic. Sometimes like the relationship can be beyond romance. So it's different levels to twin flames, but you'll know. It'll be an energy. You'll be an energy. It's just like, when you meet certain people and you just be like, damn, bro, I feel like I met you before. I feel like I know you from somewhere. That's like a kindred spirit or somebody that you just connected to. You said, what's up with the voice? What it sound like? Yeah, what does my voice sound like, bro? You said peep how's only the women noticing your voice change. Hey, that's deep. Yeah, like I said, I can't hear my voice, so I don't know what it sounds like. But people saying my voice changed. Sometimes it's just the frequency, bro. Like, because when you're using all this audio equipment, it's amplifying sound waves. So sometimes like you can pick up on different frequencies. When did I get all these face tats? Yeah, I got my first face tat in 2016. So I got 3. I got this one in the middle. I got this one over here on the eyebrow. And then I got the 6-point star. And I got this warrior symbol. So I got like 4 face tats. But yeah, I had these for a minute, bro. I got my first one in 2016. I really need to get them touched up because when you dark skin, you kind of got to get it touched up more. Okay, you say it's the internet connection messing with my voice, making it go deeper. Okay. Yeah, I think it's because I'm streaming to so many different websites at one time. It can kind of like interfere with the signal a little bit. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna take a few more questions. You said IG's being weird with the audio. Yeah, it's weird. For some reason, my Instagram lives always have issues. Like my YouTube, my Twitch usually don't have too many other problems. The face tats really didn't hurt like that. It didn't really hurt like that. But I think I just have a high pain tolerance. Why would I tell you where I live, bro? Appreciate that, Canopy. What do I think of Buddhism? I fuck with Buddhism. Yeah, that was one of the first systems that I really studied in depth. I like Buddhism. It's not too much like, dogma. And I mean, it's really just teaching you to go within. So yeah, I like Buddhism. But yeah, man, it's definitely a lot of things on the horizon. So I'm gonna probably come back and do a part 2 tomorrow. Cause I got motherfuckers calling me and shit. I gotta call a couple people back. But yeah, man, we are in the age of Aquarius, bro. So my advice to everybody would be to learn as much as you can, learn new skills, learn how to grow your own food, learn about this technology. Cause like I say, I'm not one of the people that push, that AI is evil. I just think it's a tool that can be used for good or evil. And there's basically going to be like 2 different forms of AI. You're going to have like the government and like the corporate AI that's going to be like kind of more censored, and it's going to be, good to use for certain tasks. But then you're going to have like the underground AI where independent developers create, and you're going to be able to ask AI like, yo, how can I, how can I build an off-grid house for under $10,000? Like I said, I showed that earlier in the live, but you're going to be able to ask AI how to do things, and it'll give you a step-by-step answer. So it's going to be good and bad. And as the age of Aquarius, advances, it's going to be more technology. And, certain people will merge with technology. Like, it's already people that got a chip in their brain with the Elon Musk, with the Neuralink. So if you want to know what reality will look like in the future, you should play a video game called Cyberpunk 2077. That's going to show you what reality would be like. Certain people will merge with technology, certain people won't. But it's going to be like different layers of society. There's going to be certain pockets of society that's like super advanced and super technological. Then there's going to be like certain rural areas that's not really as technology, but it's still going to be advanced, because you can use AI and automation to build like a solar, an organic, solar energy farm, or solar off the grid, farm, or, collective land share type of environment. So it's going to be people that's going to detach completely from the system and live off the grid. And it's going to be like highly advanced off grid pockets of communities. And then you're going to have like the cities, which is going to be like super advanced. Like, it's going to be facial recognition. And it's going to be kind of like how it is now. It's just going to be more advanced. It's going to be a little bit more control. So you're going to have your options of where you want to be at. It's not just like, oh, this is going to happen and everybody's going to get destroyed. It's like, nah. And especially now, like with the people that's like tap in with me and get this crypto game, you're going to learn how to make a lot of money. So we're going to be able to create our own communities, because the thing about it is the government, they only care about the masses. So they don't really care about small communities that kind of do their own thing, as long as you're not directly going against them and it's not too many people, because the masses will always be the masses, bro. And this is, a lot of people don't like when I say this, but there is no waking up the masses. Throughout history, there's only been a small select group of people that really had like the higher knowledge. Like in Egypt, bro, everybody wasn't a motherfucking priest or a king. Like, most people were peasants, and being a peasant isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know people use that word in a derogatory way. It's just the average everyday person that is just, they don't really give a fuck about learning and studying, which everybody is not a scholar. Like, what made you a priest in ancient Egypt was you had to spend like 10 years of studying and practicing and learning, the higher sciences of reality. Everybody couldn't become a priest because it's very intense. It's not just something that anybody can do. It requires years of devotion. So, You know, it's kind of like that now. Like if you watching my videos, you pretty much a part of the priest class, because the fact that it's 3 a.m. and you watching me instead of just like watching some gender war bullshit or just watching Netflix, this proves that you're tapped into a higher level of consciousness. So the people that's watching my content would be okay. And like I say, even if the economy crashed, like I tell people that the economy crashing is really a good thing, because it will force people to have to work together, and it will force people to come together and put their differences aside just in order to survive. Because right now people are so dependent on the system. And, you know, I tell people, look, as long as the system exists, you should extract as much resources and value as you can from it, because there's ways to learn how to finesse this system, bro. Like you got to learn how to do what Donald Trump and all these rich motherfuckers be doing. Like learn how to like finesse with the credit, learn how to like finesse with the taxes, learn how to like get business credit, learn how to play this corporate game so you can take the money and then use it to fund the alternative solutions. Because anybody can complain on the internet, but who's going to actually get the money up and who's going to get the resources to build an alternative? You know, so you know, it's going to be both sides, bro. It's going to be a lot of pain and suffering, but it's going to also be a lot of growth, and it's going to be a lot of new opportunities as well in the new world. So it's all about where you vibrate at within your consciousness. The people that's vibrating on the frequency of being a victim, of being powerless, of being, you know, not confident and being ignorant, they're the people that's going to get replaced, because it's your own consciousness that's doing it to you. You know, you're doing this to yourself. You know, we have all the information we need. Like I said, I showed you the AI. You can ask AI anything. So it's really up to us at this point on where we want to go, personally and as a collective. So you said it's 9 a.m. in the UK. Shout out to the UK, man. So what's the best steps on a daily to help with procrastinating? I mean, bro, just do it, bro. You know, you need to create a schedule. You need to have a daily, weekly, and a monthly schedule. And all the things that you're trying to accomplish, you need to take daily steps to do it. So I have big goals, I have long-term goals, and then I have short-term goals. So I just hold myself to it, bro. It's like I understand that nobody is going to really do it for me. And you know, like I say, man, you know, I mean, I live in my own house, bro. I got to pay all my own bills. So it's like, it's just certain things that I have to do just as an adult, you know? So it's like, I don't really have an alternative to procrastinate, because if I procrastinate, if I don't go hard, if I don't put in work, then I lose everything. I become homeless or I die. So it's like, you know, I have to go hard with everything I'm doing. So procrastination is just, you know, it's really just comes from overthinking, bro. A lot of times, honestly. It says 8 p.m. in Sydney. That's crazy. Okay, so they age restricted my live on TikTok. I think because I was cussing too much. When you use too many cuss words on TikTok, they kind of put a filter on your account. What do you do when life starts to feel so mundane? Well, if reality is mundane to you, that's a byproduct of your own mind. Like, you should never be bored, bro. Like, you have a mind. Like, you have to make your reality lit. You got to make your life be fun, bro. It's just like certain people don't have a sense of humor. They don't really have a mindset to create. When you a creator, you create the circumstance, you create the environment, you create the energy that you want to exist in. So if reality is seeming too mundane, this means that your consciousness is mundane. You're focused on the mundane instead of being focused on the supernatural, instead of being focused on the imagination, the beautiful, being in the mindset of creating what you want to see. So you know, it's really your own mind, bro. Like, you can entertain yourself. You know, like I said, bro, like, you know, I did some time in jail before. So unfortunately, one of my roommates got in a fight with some other niggas. So, you know, in jail, if your roommate get into a fight, you might get written up as well. So I got sent to the hole for like 14 days, like 2 weeks. And when I was in the hole, bro, it's like I found out that there's no such thing as boredom, because I found ways to entertain myself just by, meditating and creating scenarios within my mind. See, you have to be able to get to a point where you can close your eyes and have a whole experience just within your mind and within your consciousness. Once you can get to that level, bro, nobody can really fuck with you. Nobody can really fuck with you. So you got any advice on breaking writer's block for music? That's a good question. Yeah, writer's block usually comes from either overthinking, or it's like you just need to change up your routine. So maybe you need to live a little bit more life. Maybe you need more experiences to actually write about. Maybe you need to change the scenery. Maybe you need to take some shrooms, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot of different things you can do to kind of inspire yourself. Maybe you need to listen to other music to get some inspiration. And sometimes you just have to just work through it. Like a lot of times when I make music, even if I'm not feeling it, I still make the song, because really as an artist too, your music is not just yours. It's really for the people. So it may be a song that you might not like, but that might be the song that put you on. That might be the song that blow up and change your life. So, I would just change up the routine a little bit, change the scenery, and, just keep writing, bro. Like you can really overcome writer's block by just working through it and just keep writing. How long did your pain last after surgery? Oh shit, I'm still in pain, bro. Yeah, I'm in pain every day. I just learned how to manage it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm still healing, bro, because when you're like paralyzed, that's really like a lifelong thing. It's like, because I still have a lot of nerve pain. I still have a lot of like issues, just like other issues. So it's like, I'm still in pain, bro, but it's getting better over time. What is sex magic? Sex magic is using the power and the energy of sex and directing it towards your intention. So think about the fact that you can bring a life to this planet through sex. What else can you bring to this planet through sex? That energy is so powerful that it can create a whole nother human. So what else can you create with it? This means that you can direct that energy to give birth to your intent, to give birth to your goals, desires, right? So that's what sex magic is, bro. It's using the power of sexual energy to manifest. Oh yeah, much love, man. Rolling Stones. Shout out to everybody, man. But yeah, shout out, man. Shout out to everybody that donated. Shout out to everybody that watched, man. Yeah, I think I'm about to sign off. Shout out to everybody worldwide, man. There's people from everywhere, bro, that's tapped into the lives. So yeah, man. Hopefully, man, we can do this again tomorrow. And yeah, I'm gonna probably go live on my phone from Instagram so I can like allow people to join. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. And until next time, bro, always much love, peace, power, prosperity, man. Peace.